Hello. Hey, Blair. What's up? My name's James Beatty, and this is a video response to your Fuck Twilight video, and your sequel to the Fuck Twilight video, your viewpoints. I have absolutely no problems with what you're saying about Twilight. It makes sense. I see where you come from. Never actually read the books, but I'm supporting you because there's a lot of things about Twilight that I don't like. One is the publicity of Twilight. I hate it. Personally, I believe it gives the vampire story a bad name. I can understand a vampire falling in love and all that other good stuff, but vampires are killers. They're hunters and all that other stuff. A good vampire story, what I thought was a good vampire story, was the Circuit de Freak series. The Circuit de Freak series is about a guy it's written by Darren Shannon. He isn't all that creative in his naming. In fact, he uses himself as a main character, but I don't have a problem with that. And then throughout the entire story, he continues to state that this is a real story and all this other stuff, which is, it's different, but it's not all that great. And this brace is messing with me, so I'm just going to take it off. Hold on a second. And Twilight, he does have a lot of human qualities. In fact, he's not a full vampire. He's only half throughout the entire book. And another thing about Twilight, the one thing about Twilight that I didn't like is that the fans of Twilight. You said that the Twilight fans were Twilight was written for fat, gothic chicks that shop at Hot Topic. I'm not saying that you're wrong. All I'm saying is that I have a group of friends, and I wouldn't like to think that any of them are fat, and I guess some of them shop at Hot Topic, but they are strong fans of Twilight. No problem with them. I love them. They're great fans. They're great people. I just don't like Twilight. I don't like how they view Twilight. They view Twilight as what men are supposed to be, and by Edward standards or Jacob standards or whoever, the whole Team Edward, Team Jacob thing. It's like, fuck it, just fuck it all. And no man on the planet is ever going to be as good as Edward or as good as Jacob. Now, I don't know if Jacob had any flaws. I don't know a single thing about Jacob. But from the way that Edward describes, he is the perfect man, and behind it all, he's a vampire, which means that he's just that much more perfect. And it just aggravates the crap out of me. Because it's these movies, it's these books these days. There's all these people who are perfect, who are flawless. And like you said about there's a lot of books out there that the people have flaws. They get angry, they make mistakes, they get wounded. It makes sense if you have a human character. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't write about vampires. I'm saying that you should give vampires some humanity. They look like a guy. They have a brain like a guy. They should think like a guy. Just because he lived for 100 and some odd years doesn't mean he knows everything. Hell, Albert Einstein was a genius. A genius. He came up with equals MC squared. He came up with pi, or he's credited with coming up with pi. The man is absolutely incredibly smart, but I guarantee he made some really stupid mistakes. So my problem with Twilight is that he can't be the perfect man. No one can be the perfect man. It won't ever be that good. And it puts this idea in girls' heads that there is this perfect man out there, and he will never fuck up and all this other stuff, and it's never, ever, 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 ever going to happen. Now, so I'm supporting your Twilight point of view. I'm not supporting it with the same sense. I'm supporting it with the sense that I hate the freaking people I don't hate the people. I'm annoyed by the people's point of views of Twilight. Now, I kind of have to do this. I'm a huge Star Wars nerd. Love Star Wars. Star Wars is probably one of the greatest series of movies ever. Loved it all, and I'm not quite thrilled about your point of views of the prequels. Personally, I believe that there was some backstory during the first three movies, 4, 5, and 6. You know, New Hope, Return of the Jedi, and The Empire Strikes Back. God, I'm so bad about that. Empire Strikes Back, New Hope, and Return of the Jedi. And there is some backstory in A New Hope. Now, in A New Hope, it's not a whole lot. It's not like saying, ooh, here it is, here it is, here it is. But they do mention the Clone Wars in A New Hope. When they're sitting in Tatooine in his home with Obi-Wan, he's sitting there talking to Obi-Wan, and Obi-Wan mentions the Clone Wars. And then Luke says, oh, you were in the Clone Wars? And, you know, they kind of give that little brief description of the Clone Wars. Now, why they don't mention, they don't really show a lot of relation between well, why there's not a whole lot of backstory is because the only person who knew the story, who was in the movies, that was part of the entire thing, was Yoda, Obi-Wan, R2-D2, and C-3PO. Now, R2-D2 can't speak English. He goes beep boop boop boop, and C-3PO is the only one that translates him. Now, I'm not quite sure what the whole thing behind C-3PO is. Maybe he's just that stupid. I'm not quite sure. But I'll probably have to watch the movies again anyway. And the problem, and Yoda and Obi-Wan are probably the two smartest people in the world. That's why they came to the conclusion it's best if they do not mention that Anakin Skywalker is Darth Vader, that is Luke Skywalker's father, real father. And it makes a lot of sense, you know, protecting him from the truth, but he's got to find the truth out on his own. You know, it's great, but because of, you know, the whole no, Luke, I am your father, it's now becoming a little more cliche that the bad guy is the good guy's father and all sorts of stuff. But in the story, I do like how Vader isn't really a bad guy, because in the end he does fulfill the prophecy, which is wonderful. I guess that's about it. I'm not going to get on the Star Wars subject with you, because I'm pretty sure you're about as hard-headed as I am, and I have absolutely no problem with that, but I'm just giving you my point of view of the Star Wars. And it was I did enjoy your films and how you compared the Twilight writing to Lord of the Rings and to Harry Potter, because I do like Lord of the Rings, and I'm an okay fan of Harry Potter. You know, I stopped reading after the Order of the Phoenix. I just never really picked it up. You know, after they killed Sirius Black, I was just kind of like, eh. I mean, I wasn't just reading for Sirius Black, but I mean, that's just like, well, Harry Potter's great and all, but just not doing it for me. Well, I mean, I guess that's about it. And thank you, Blair, for actually standing out of the crowd and saying fuck Twilight along with me. I mean, I can't stand how people compare actual life to vampires and werewolves and stuff. So yeah. But if you do have a chance, I suggest you read the entire series of Circuit to Freak. I think it's like 12 or 13 books. They're not long, and they're not very adult-like. They were kind of written for the 8th grader. And it's not that it's written in a bad way. I enjoyed it. I mean, I'll read them all again and say, hey, I still enjoy them. And but if you have a chance, look for it. There's absolutely no werewolves in it, so you don't have to worry about that. It's I think it's a good book. They give a lot more humanism the vampires. They don't make them immortal, but they do make them. A lot better than the average human. So I figured you'd like the Surf to Freak series, from Twilight, to Star Wars. Star Trek's great. Loved the new movie. That was awesome. I can't wait to see the next one. If they make a next one, which I'm pretty sure they are. If they're making that much money off this one, they're going to make the next one. Let's see here. What else? Lord of the Rings is awesome. Harry Potter's great. Not a big fan of it, but it's a great series. Thank you, Blair. James Beattie. Out. And I support you in your Twilight point of views.